Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lights Out. As always, I'm Hank Lazer. Alongside me, the living legend, Mr. Tony Dynasty. Tony, welcome to the show.
How you doing? I'm happy to be here.
It's great to have you again. It's great to be here with Fighting Spirit Wrestling tonight for Ludus Maximus. We're going to have an inside look with all the wrestlers of Fighting Spirit Wrestling. We're going to go inside the locker room. We're going to take you before and after every match for what looks to be a pretty exciting card. Is that not right, Tony?
The biggest I've seen, honestly. In my time with FSW, this is the biggest.
Yeah, it's a stacked card we have here tonight. And let's go through it so you fans can get prepared. Opening the bout tonight, a couple of newcomers, some exciting folks that we're looking forward to seeing. We have the Elements versus Omega Black and the Natural in a tag team matchup. What do you see among those four?
Just a correction there. The Natural is actually fighting with the Elements. And thank God, because the Natural, I've been hearing huge things about him. He's making his debut tonight.
I'm sorry about that, fans. What do you expect to see about a young kid like the Natural? We're going to have him in on the studio here in a little bit.
They don't have tape on this kid, the Natural, so I think he's going to surprise them all.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get tagged in from the start, go coast to coast to this match. The Elements, they don't even really need him to beat Omega Black, you ask me. But I think this kid, he's got an 80 for power, he's got an 80 for speed. He's going to destroy Omega Black. They got no chance.
We'll be excited to see that matchup. And then the first listed match on the card could be the best of the night. We're going to have the House of Pain, your current FSW Tag Team Champions, versus Certified Sexy. Now, the House of Pain have held the belts since December of last year. They're on a real run right now, are they not?
They are. They're the most powerful tag team in the sport right now. Honestly, I had a tag team championship match against these guys.
Is that right?
I didn't even get in the match. After the match, they took my trophy and they sat on me, gave me a sharpshooter.
Oh my goodness.
But they gave me the trophy back.
I guess we should mention, alongside him, as usual, Tony's got his 1997.
That's right.
What were you?
This is from the Staten Island Invitational, the Interborough Championship. It changes boroughs every year. And Staten Island being my home borough, I was very proud to take home the gold that year. 1997, one of the last years I was champion of the Interborough mat sports scene, and the rest is history. Now I'm back in the FSW, tangling up with pro wrestlers, not kickboxers, and martial artists. And
what are the difference there between the kickboxing scene, the pro wrestling scene? Do you have the faces and the anger that you have in FSW? Hold on, we're gonna.
Well, don't worry about that sound. This is a church, so. We got a big difference between the kickboxing scene and the pro wrestling scene, actually. In pro wrestling, you got to worry about talking to the crowd. Back when I was in kickboxing, it was just about how tough you were. You got your respect from how hard you kicked, how hard you punched. Nowadays, these kids, they get their respect from talking to the camera. And I guess that's okay. This is pro wrestling. It's a lot more coverage, a lot more interest. So you got to pander to the fans. Me, I'm just about toughness, technique, power.
Sure.
That's a big difference between a guy with an amateur background and a guy that's a pro wrestler.
Now, and I don't want to get too far from our card, but we'll get back to kickboxing. I have a lot of questions about the past there.
Absolutely.
In our third match of the night, we're going to have Talon versus Big Daddy Dre here in the Primero Championship on the line.
Talon, what a talent. This guy can do it all. He can talk. He can wrestle. He could probably kickbox, you ask me. He's got all the tools. Who's he facing again?
He's got Big Daddy Dre, who's currently the Primero champion.
He's holding that belt, huh?
Yeah, he's got the belt. Got that
I'll tell you
strap.
what, Talon actually held that Primero strap longer than anybody. If I'm not mistaken, he's actually the first ever Primero strap holder.
I think he's going to get it back tonight.
I predict that he will. The guy is in the world championship hunt usually, not down here in the mid card. So I think he's going to take that strap. Maybe he's going to unify the belts. Actually, that's a thought. Maybe we'll see Talon hold on both belts.
Big predictions here.
Yeah.
From the 1997 Staten Island kickboxing champion.
Well,
match. I'm sorry.
it was all forms of fighting. I was going through kickboxing phase at the time, but I was actually facing wrestlers at the time. I was facing karate guys, sambo karate. Aikido was starting to get big in the 90s thanks to Steven Seagal, those guys.
Yeah, what a legend he is.
Whatever Jean-Claude Van Damme does. It it was just a general mat sports tournament. Any style you got, you bring it there. You win the Interborough Championship, as I did many times, actually, not just 1997. Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's great to have someone with your experience here on the show.
I'm glad to be here with a real sports journalist.
I appreciate that. Our fourth match of the night, we're going to have Azrael, who's a member of the Snot Clique, along with Blake, and I apologize, the Davis?
Blake Morris.
Blake Morris is going to be up against him. A nice kid, a good kid, it seems
Yes,
like. to
he's
me.
a real nice boy, and I got to pull for him in that match. I don't know who's going to win that match, but I'm pulling for Blake.
Yeah.
He's a real nice boy. My parents love him. Actually, my parents' favorite wrestler.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Malta the Dynasty.
Yeah, sure. Malta the Dynasty, I've had a chance. What a lovely woman, if I may say.
Yeah. She cooks a mean pasta.
She's a great pasta cook. And our fifth match of the night, and boy, I tell you fans, these matches just go on and on. There's just a huge proportion of wrestling fight sports to see here tonight.
It brings a new meaning to a stacked card.
That's right, exactly what it is. Joe Attell is going to take on AJ Spectre, and this is the kind of match that AJ Spectre's been looking for a long time.
It is, yeah. I'm very excited for AJ Spectre. He's a little snot-nosed brat. He's not in snot, but he is a snot. But he's got no chance against Staten Island Joe Attell. I predict that he might break his neck, actually. I think AJ Spectre is going to leave this building tonight in an ambulance. It's just not looking good. I mean, this is a real clash of experience here. And you know me, I'm all about experience.
Sure.
Joe Attell was fighting for the World Championship very recently, and this guy's straight out of the pre-show.
Wow, strong words here from Tony Dynasty about the young AJ Spectre. We'll have him on the show later today.
We will, yes, and hopefully we can find a little bit from Mandy Monroe.
Can't wait to see
That's AJ Spectre's, maybe not girlfriend, it's maybe a benefactor. We're going to find that out.
We'll get to the bottom of this a little later.
That's a very important issue tonight.
Next we have a 5-star match. This is a trademark here at FSW. It's going to be Kris Rex, Greg Jones, Sebastian Cage, Leon Marone, and Cyrus Deville.
Leon Mason.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mason.
He's
Marone.
my
Like
God.
he was Marone, man.
Leon Marone. I
Yeah,
like
that's a
that.
good name. Maybe
You know,
he's Italian.
Yeah, he might be Italian. He wears that mask. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's a beautiful face behind that mask. I've been telling him to take it off, but I don't know if he even speaks English.
He's got to be the favorite in this 5-star match, does he not?
Well, here's the thing. Cyrus Deville and Leon Mason are actually partners. They're both part of the End. They're on the same team. It seems a little bit unfair to me that they're in this match together.
You got to question Joel Maximo there, don't you?
Oh yeah, and hopefully we can get him to talk on this show. If we get find some time from his busy schedule to come talk to us sports journalists. But that's something I'd like to get to the bottom of as well. But actually, I'm not sure who I pick in this match. Kris Rex is the wild card. You never know what you're going to get from him. He's passionate. He's in your face. He's influential. I don't know what we're going to get. I think it's either going to be a toss-up between Kris Rex and Leon Mason. Definitely not Cyrus. I think he's probably the worst one in that match, to be honest. A real lack of experience.
Lack
of class.
I
At the very
understand that.
least.
I know you and Cyrus have a very complicated history. I don't know. Let's get to that at a later time during the show.
Okay, I'll answer any questions. I don't care.
I know you will. In our second to main event, really it's a card full of main events in my opinion. We have Malta versus Magma.
That's
you
a
got
big
Magma,
match.
that's a volcanic kind of thing, and then you got Malta, that's a island in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, we got the beast from the east. We got Magma, a man who's Pearl Harbored me several times now, but I got nothing but respect for this guy. When he beats my ass, he did it fair. He eliminated me at the Lions Den Battle Royal. And at Men in Mayhem, I had a little speech I was about to give the fans about Legends Never Die. And before I could even get a word out of my mouth, Magma comes out and Pearl Harbors me yet again. But no, he's all power, this guy. He's big, he's strong. He's not as big as Malta. Yeah. Malta is a goddamn mountain. And I predict Malta's going to take this in the co-main event tonight. I think he's going to destroy Magma. Magma, like I said, take nothing away from the talent and the size of this guy. But Malta is a legend of the highest caliber. Nobody steps in that ring with Malta and leaves this place on 2 feet. The king of the one-punch knockout.
Yeah,
A story of Queens. I know this guy a long time.
There's a lot of stories on the streets about his past and what he's been up to. I've heard some some run-ins with the law enforcement.
Yeah, that's a guy I'd like to get in the booth tonight if possible.
Yeah, I not a man to mess with, Malta. I'll say that.
I'll put it in a good way.
And then finally, we don't know what the main event is going to be tonight. It's the Mike Verna Open Challenge. He said, I'm putting the belt on the line. I don't care who it is. I'm going to take him on. Now, first of all, Tony, you have any interest in this match?
Of course I have interest. Tony loves an open challenge. The question is if these fans, they know about me yet. I've only been on the scene about 6 months. I've been retired for over 10 years, almost 15 years. But I got a couple fans out there. If they can make some noise for me, that would be great.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, I don't know how much of a shot I got. Tell you what, though, you put me in this match, I will beat Mike Verna. Mike Verna is a beautiful man. He's a beautiful champion. He's got muscles on top of muscles.
Right.
But do you want a beautiful champion, or do you want a champion with an amateur background?
Strong words. Strong words once again from the 1997 Interborough.
It's all the boroughs come together to one borough and find out who the best is. Every year.
And you were the best of the best in 1997.
97, 94, which was actually in the Bronx.
Is that right?
1996, which was in Brooklyn. I won that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hope to see if we can get that experience in the ring with Mike Verna tonight. It's up to the fans. We'll see what they say. We're going to be right back with more from FSW. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lights Out here with FSW. Our first guest ever. Excited to have him, Cyrus Deville. Welcome to the show.
You should be very excited.
We're glad to have you here. I'm joined by Tony Dynasty, as always, who I think is very excited for this interview.
He looks it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
He hasn't got any sleep in excitement because he knew I was going to be here. This is a nice trophy, by the way.
Tony, the 1997
Don't touch that.
Interborough.
Belongs in a goddamn museum.
Belongs in the garbage is what it really
Yeah,
Well, let's save it between the two of you because Cyrus had a few questions about it tonight. You got a tough matchup, 4 other men in the ring at the same time. What's your game plan going into tonight's 5-star match?
It's going to hurt people. There's more people in this match, and it's just more people for me to hurt. Unfortunately, it seems as if Fighting Spirit Wrestling wants some problems between the end because my partner Leon Mason is also in there, but I am not going to hesitate to take him out if I have to. I'm here to dominate, and I don't care who I have to go through.
Now, let me ask you about the end because, there's been a lot of folks out there, the message boards, the Twitter, even on Facebook some places, people are talking about maybe it is the end for the end with, your leader Ian Aldwin on the shelf. What do you say to those detractors?
They don't know what they're talking about. The End is the most dominant faction that's ever been in Fighting Spirit Wrestling. Bar none. Make no mistake about it. There is no dissension among the End. Don't kid yourself, and don't ask questions like that ever again.
I'm not asking the question, it's folks out there on the internet. I'm just trying to get the news for you. Let me ask you this. Kris Rex, we had him on the show previously. We were talking to him. He says the End is just a rip-off of Snot, his group. What do you say to something like that from a young guy like Kris Rex just breaking in?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's be honest. If we compare the Snot or the End, who's had more success?
I'd say the End right now.
There you go. That's it. You don't even need to say anymore.
Results matter here in FSW. A lot of other places you talk with.
You gotta remember, me and Leon have yet to be pinned in Fighting Spirit Wrestling. Have yet to be made to submit. Ian Aldwin was the champion. Don't that is ridiculous.
Don't mean to
Kris Rex, thank you. You gave me extra motivation for that.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Let me ask you about yourself. What's your background before you got into FSW here? Were you involved in other type of fight sports as Tony Dynasty was? Do you have any kind of karate or judo background?
No.
Just fighting on the streets?
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I grew up on Staten Island.
Sure.
The Midland Beach section of Staten Island to be exact. And I had no sports before this. It's just what I do.
Now, how do you meet Ian Aldwin and become a member of the End? How does that all get started for you?
Well, me and Ian have a lot of mutual friends in the outside world, you know, through the streets, and he approached me one day. He said, I would like you to come into Fighting Spirit Wrestling, help me take over. And I said, sure, why not? You know, he's the one that brought me into FSW, and he is probably my best friend in the professional wrestling world.
Now, a lot of people out there...
And I might add, he's my only friend in the professional wrestling world.
You wouldn't include other members of the End in that list?
I don't trust AJ Stackpole, and Leon Mason is just a monster. He's never been my friend.
Hard to be friends with a monster, isn't it?
It's hard to be friends with somebody that doesn't talk.
Sure.
Right, then, Austin. You're
That
awfully
makes
silent
sense to
on
me.
that. Why are you so quiet?
Hey, talk to the sports journalist, okay?
Let's not...
Just a guest.
Why is he so quiet? Why
Let's
is he
get to the bottom of this right now if we can, because I sense the tension here. I think our
I don't
fans
know. I
can
don't
as well.
get it. What's the tension for?
Let's talk about the trophy. Tony, I know this trophy means a lot to you.
It does.
Why don't you tell Cyrus how you felt about the trophy getting broken?
Well, you know that's the only trophy I got left after my divorce. I lost all of them in the divorce settlement. You're throwing that thing against my walls. What do you think I feel about that? How do I feel? My last remaining trophy, you're breaking it. It was just an act of no class.
Thank you. I really don't care how you feel.
So why did you do it?
Because I felt like it.
You just do
You
what
were in the
feel.
wrong place at the wrong time.
Cyrus, let me ask you this. Did you repair the trophy? It looks like it's got some problems. Were you involved in the trophy getting
That is a great question, actually. I repaired that trophy myself. I have an invoice from Mr. Trophy on 4th Avenue that I am still waiting to be paid for by this man. It is for $47. I have the invoice with me, so yeah.
Cyrus, what would you do with the invoice if he handed it to you right now? I'm a little concerned.
Would you pay it if I gave you the invoice?
No.
Just patch things up. You and me will end things right now. We don't have to have any heat between us anymore.
No, I don't care.
You don't care.
No,
$47.
I don't give a fuck about
Cyrus, I
this.
sense a lack of respect here for Tony.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you, Cyrus.
I don't respect many people.
I was going to ask, are there people in the wrestling business that you respect?
No.
Do you respect anybody, Cyrus?
No. Not really. Why? What's the point? I don't care about anybody.
What do you care about?
Nothing. I care about myself.
Gotta tell you,
That is a stretch itself.
it seems kind of apathetic, this attitude of yours. Do you feel like that kind of attitude is what you're going to need to get to the top ranks here in FSW to get a belt around your waist?
My man, if you grew up the way I grew up, you would have the same attitude. If you've been through the things that I've been through, you would have the same attitude. This trophy means nothing to me.
Well, that's not.
I really don't care about it, to be honest. I'll break it again.
I don't need that on the show. All right, I appreciate your views. I don't want any trouble with the trophy or with the two of you on the show. Okay, I'm just a simple sports journalist.
It makes me question.
Yeah. Now he's the
Beautiful
interviewer.
tape job.
Yeah.
That cost $47.
No, the real repairs, for him to bring it back to mint condition is going to be $47. That tape probably cost me about $1.99. Let's add that on top of the invoice.
The trophy still does look very nice.
$48.99, please.
I gotta say. All right, well, listen, we appreciate you coming on the show, Cyrus. Good luck tonight. Good luck with, maybe getting some positivity out there and with turning things around.
That's what I'd like to see too. A little bit of positivity, maybe some
I would like to
class.
see you shut up.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. Cyrus Deville, thanks for coming on. And we're back here with Kris Rex.
Yeah, man.
Kris, good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. Kris, you're a founding member of SNOT, is that right?
Yes, I created the Scumbag Nation gimmick.
Scumbag Nation. Now I wondered, is SNOT, does that stand for something?
Yeah, it stands for Scumbag Nation of today.
Of today.
Yeah.
Have there been Scumbag Nations in the past? Or this
There have been rip-offs of the Scumbag Nation moniker.
Is that right? Who are there here in FSW or?
And other places. I will not mention who they are.
Mystery man we have with us now here, Tony. Lead me, as a sports journalist, it's hard for me not to ask
I
you
feel
questions.
if I do even repeat their names, it just gives them some notoriety. So.
I see. Now, how was SNOT formed? What gave you the inspiration there?
Well, actually, I got injured My first year in, I tore my ACL, MCL, and PCL.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I was this type of person, like I can't just sit at home and do nothing. So I would just, on my crutches, go to the shows, do whatever I could, and we came up with this idea that, hey, we're gonna give you a group, and this is how you're gonna remain active. And that's where it started.
Now, are you healthy off the shelf?
And I feel 200% better.
Your ACL's fine?
Oh yeah, that happened back in 2012.
The UCL, the PCL, the ABC, it's all good?
Any type of CL you can think of.
OMG is what I sounds like a little LOL there while we're at it.
Thank you.
Now, you've gone on record, and we have this in writing, that the end, a pretty powerful faction here in FSW, is a ripoff.
Oh, 100% a ripoff of the Snot. It's
What
like,
evidence do you have to back that up?
well, the whole, we're against the authority, we're against it. We started that. The Snot started that. The whole, we're being held back. We're going to destroy the FSW. That was all. We were saying that 2 years before the end even debuted.
Interesting. Now, we understand you'll be in the ring today.
Yeah, I'll be in the
with a
5-star
couple of
match.
members of the end.
Yes, Leon Cyrus.
Now, we talked to Cyrus a little earlier, and he did not care to hear that you were saying that the Snot is the progenation.
You look at the guy, like, there's not much right up in his head right
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Now listen, Tony and Cyrus have this thing with the trophy.
Yeah.
It's all.
It's actually looking pretty good.
Thank
It's
you.
pretty well.
Thank you.
How much would you say the repair work to a trophy like this would run?
From the looks of it,
To get it back to
$2.
scratch. How much?
$2.
This guy.
You got the tape
You
around it?
belong
Come
with
on.
Cyrus, to be honest. It's solid gold.
Fans, you can't see this on camera. This is in fact 14 karat gold. Used to be a jeweler, and so I can verify that for you. Now, Mike Verna in the main event tonight. What's your thoughts on who might face him? If you had advice from Mike Verna, what would you tell him?
Oh, well, being someone that's in the ballot that could be chosen, of course I would say prepare for anything. Because you could be thinking you're going against the most popular guy in the roster, and it could be me. So you really, there is no preparation. My advice to Mike Verna would just be expect the unexpected, as Joel Maximo might say.
Joel Maximo, a wise man to follow. Now, if you had to face Mike Verna here tonight, what would you do? What's your strategy to go into that match? What would you advise his opponent? Do you have any weaknesses?
I'd use his weakness against him. See, he's a strong guy, but how fast is he? You can do all the powerful moves, but you'll get blown up quick. Me, I'm a fast-paced. My style is fast-paced, so I can run circles around you.
Now, that speed helps you out. Does it ever get you in trouble?
Yeah. Sometimes you're just so one-track mind. You're like, I'm going in. You get caught with a move out of nowhere. It's a yin and a yang.
Yin and a yang. Eastern spirituality right here. I appreciate that. Now let's ask about your match. 4 other superstars in the ring. A 5-star match, the trademark match here in FSW. What the Federation's known for. What do you do going into a match like that? How do you beat 4 other men?
Again, it's one of those things where you really can't you really don't know what to expect. I know the guys that I'm in the ring with, but I don't know what they're going to do. Who knows if Greg Jones is going to come out with something I've never seen before, or Cyrus or Leon. You never know what can happen. All I can do is have my own game plan, which is to be, one, take the most rest time, because everyone's going to be going after each other. I'm going to be the one in the corner sitting back, letting them all blow each other up.
Sure. Now, Tony, you've been in a few scraps in your time. Have you ever fought 4 men at once?
4 on the streets, never in the ring. I mean, I was in the Lions Den against 23 other men, but
Yeah, well, that worked out for you.
not so great. I got Pearl Harbored by Magma.
Sure. Another big FSW superstar we're going to see.
He misted me in my face with some kind of Japanese ancient liquid. I couldn't see for days.
The soy sauce kind of mixture? Or
I didn't get it in my mouth, thank God.
tahini, maybe?
Tahini, that sounds right.
Sure, yeah. Do you have any questions for Kris before we get out of here?
You've spoken before about what I would label as a conspiracy in the FSW that you feel held back by the higher-ups in FSW, and then you've also said that Mike Verna is a man that maybe has gotten a little bit of an edge from the higher-ups here.
Oh, I 100% believe that,
What
because
is the conspiracy?
I've been here for 5 years,
Uh-huh.
okay? not once have I had a title opportunity. Okay, I've done everything that's been asked of me.
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm still, in my mind, I still can't get past this mid-card status. And here comes this big old American boy, Mike Verner, who's got the muscles and all that. Yeah. And he becomes champion his first year in.
Well, he's
I mean,
a
who did he go through to even earn that shot? He won a battle royal.
He did beat Talon, and he's one of the best we got.
He beat Talon, but what did he do to get that title shot? Win a battle royal. A battle royal that I wasn't in. I'm sorry, I was in there. I was eliminated by my own partners.
Oh my God.
And then let's talk about this year's line dance battle royal,
What
okay?
happened?
Where Talon won. Was I in there? Did I get my shot?
You weren't in the match?
I was not in the lines dance battle royal.
Maybe there's something.
You know what I was doing though?
What?
They did have me behind the curtain playing music though, right?
My
well,
music?
everyone else, what? Your music, yeah. So
Well,
while you were in there getting my shot,
yeah.
I was in there playing your music.
I mean,
how do you feel about that?
To be
You're
honest,
standing in front of a guy that hasn't gotten the opportunity, and here you are, you're getting a battle royal. What have you done?
to be fair, I've been in the game about 20 years longer than you, son. I've been in this business since 1991. So, you're talking
Out
to
with
the
the
wrong
old,
guy.
in with the new, buddy. Out with the old, in with the new.
That's what Mike Vernon says.
Strong words here from
We'll see
Kris
tonight.
Rex. Chris, good luck in your match tonight. I tell you what, you win that 5-star match, I think he deserves a title shot.
Well, I'll be rooting for you to get voted in. I want to see what happens. I want to see you versus Vernon, and I want to see what happens.
I am going to wash Vernon in the ring. Let's just keep it at that.
We'll leave it there. Kris Rex, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. You say hi to your ex-wife for me.
We'll be back with more.
That's classy.
All right, fans, back here at Lights Out. I'm here with David, a big FSW fan. Maybe you've seen him when you watch the shows. David, welcome to Lights Out.
Thank you.
Now, David, I understand that you've been to many different FSW shows. Is that correct?
I have been.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about wrestling here in the borough of Brooklyn?
I'm not a wrestler, but I'm a fan.
Right.
I actually root for the heels.
You root for the heels. Why is that?
Because usually I'm a big wrestling fan. If you notice, all the heels get booed.
Uh-huh.
I feel like giving the heels a chance.
Okay. Interesting. So let me ask you this: Would you cheer or boo for Osama bin Laden? You'd boo Osama bin Laden. Now he's the ultimate heel, is he not?
Yes.
Does he deserve a chance?
No.
For me, he doesn't deserve a chance.
You just have to have a chance.
I'm also joined by Tony Dynasty, as always. Tony, how's your feeling about heels and faces and these kinds of things? Do you think the fans should just support whoever they like, or should they support people whose actions are truly good?
I just don't understand why you don't support me.
Is that true? Do you not support Tony Dynasty?
I do not support him.
What's wrong with Tony? He seems nice to me. I don't know him very well.
One, he
Let's
comes,
bring it in here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's
he comes out. He's a fan favorite. Everybody's always cheering for him. No one's ever booing him. I do like I said before. I'm a heel guy. If I see you're getting cheered, I'm booing the crap out of you. And the thing is, he comes in the ring and starts talking and stuff like that, and it's like it feeds me into it. It's like because I'm like this. He'll start talking. I'll be like,
Why do you think they cheer me?
because you say you're the
1997, 1996, 1994. I won a lot of
No, 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 no,
championships.
no.
You think he's got a long history?
He got a long.
You don't respect that kind of experience in the ring?
I'm sorry. The thing he talks a lot of smack, and the thing is, every time he starts talking, he always gets jumped.
Let me
If
ask
you want a match, maybe I'll cheer for once.
Let's shift topics here. I don't want it all to be about Tony Dynasty. There's many other stars here in FSW. What do you think you're going to see tonight? What are you looking forward to? What's your
I'm
favorite match
looking
you're looking
forward
to?
to Mike Taverna losing the FSW championship tonight. It's gonna be a fan choose night.
Who do you think's going to be in the main event here with Mike Monroe?
I'm
Who are you
hope-
going to vote for? Let me ask you that first.
I said it once before. I would like to see Cyrus Deville. He got the awesome spear.
He's a sycophant.
everything.
A
He's
Cyrus sycophant over here. He's known him since the first day I met you.
Yep. And I said the same thing. He came up to me asking questions. Who do you want to see tonight? How I said it with such enthusiasm. I said, Cyrus Deville.
Well, fans, we have a lot to look forward here tonight at FSW. I know you're going to enjoy the show.
Oh, yes.
Thanks for joining us today.
It's the fight.
Have
It's the
fun out
4-year
there.
anniversary show.
We appreciate
This
you
has been my
coming.
second one. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And back to Lights Out. I'm Hank Lazer. Joining me, as always, Tony Dynasty, and we're here with Dan and Eric Gordon,
The Sons of America.
the Sons of America.
Omega Black.
Two members of Omega Black, the newest members of Omega Black. Is that right?
Yes.
Great. Now, I want to ask you about your name, the Sons of America. I'm a patriotic guy. I know Tony is as well. How'd you guys come along with that name?
Our background in collegiate wrestling.
Is that right? And then I imagine by the shirt you worked at Mizzou. Is that correct?
Yes.
Both of you?
Missouri.
They
Sorry,
are.
you gotta get it right.
My fault. Missouri.
That's right.
My fault. Now those are the Tigers. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, good. What weight class you wrestle at Missouri?
I wrestled in 230,
Mm-hmm.
215.
Interesting. And now, what's that transition been like from the amateur ranks to the professional?
I mean, it's worked out pretty well. It helps us out in the ring. You know, our styles are really, that's what we do. That's what we base our styles off of. We've migrated those skills over to FSW.
Interesting. And has that on the mat sort of technique translated, do you feel like, to the FSW ring?
Of course.
Has it been a difficult transition, or is it just like that?
It's just like,
Interesting. Very good.
we picked it up.
Now let me ask you about Omega Black. How'd you hook up with that faction here in FSW? Can you trust those guys if you don't know them very well?
Those are our brothers now, and we trust them with our lives. So we have 100% faith and trust in our brothers. They came to us one day with a proposition that we be the greatest faction in FSW. So we took their trust, we believed them, and to this day, we will continue to try to strive for the best.
And I understand you guys are from Coney Island, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Born and raised.
What's it like growing up in Coney Island?
The streets were tough, you know. Coney Island was pretty tough on us as kids, you know. Out on the streets, hanging around, you know, doing what we had to do to survive. But that just translates to our characters. That's why we're so tough. That's why we're so strong. Because I believe if you can make it out of Brooklyn, you can make it anywhere. That's why we're so tough.
Now, growing up, the two of you both, you're similar in ages. You don't look that far apart from one another.
Twins, identical.
Is that right?
Yes.
I thought I was having double vision over here, but it turns out not. Now, growing up as twins, did you scrap a lot? Did you wrestle each other?
Yeah, and we still do today.
Now, let me ask you, who got the best of who most often?
I mean, of course, me. No, I got the best.
Well, I think this is a pretty good one day. Maybe we'll have to have an exhibition match and see who gets out together there in the pro wrestling.
I can tell you that will be the greatest match of all time. It will be an outslaught.
That's cool. Now, did you guys watch wrestling growing up?
Yes.
Who were your favorites?
This is a funny story. Our favorites, his is Kane, and mine is Undertaker.
Also brothers.
Brothers. That's why we love. That's why we got into professional wrestling.
That's great. Now, you know, I hope you didn't have scraps like those two. Have you ever buried each other alive?
No. Oh no.
Ever thrown each other off of buildings or anything like that?
Never set each other on fire.
Let me ask you this: growing up, did you have sort of a Paulie Dangerously character in your life, or what's the creepy guy that was their manager?
Paul Bearer?
Yeah, Paul Bearer.
No, not really.
Nothing that trouble.
Nothing,
A little cleaner, maybe.
Yes.
All right, good. What's your favorite moment so far as wrestlers here in FSW?
I would say joining Omega Black. Really? It gave us the push that we really needed. Those are a couple of great guys. You know, our plan is to be the greatest tag team, the greatest faction in FSW. And that's the greatest moment for me, personally.
Now, tonight you have the Elements, and you have a newcomer, the Natural.
David Andrews.
Yeah, how do you feel going into a match against a guy you haven't seen out there in the wrestling ring before?
Just like everybody else, they're going down. Yeah.
No need to scout. You don't have to worry about him pulling anything out of the old bag of tricks.
No.
Interesting. So you heard the prediction here, folks. We're going to see the members of Omega Black. We'll see the other members of Omega Black a little later. We're going to see these two guys in the ring, and I wish you both the very best of luck tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You gotta throw it to Tony real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
These are two of my favorites, and I just got a couple questions for you guys. You know, I was a little bit confused when you guys joined Omega Black. I'm a little concerned about you guys inheriting this hatred for Suntan. Why you guys hate him so much?
Because Suntan turned his back on his brothers.
But you weren't even with those guys yet. You're gonna hate this guy before you get anything to do with the situation.
Because look, you see us as brothers, we have a brother bond.
Yeah.
And we know how the bond is. And for Suntan to turn his back on his brothers just for the spotlight, we didn't respect that. We didn't have any respect for that.
All right.
So
I can understand that. All right, follow-up questions. How old are you guys?
21.
21? So you guys graduated from school. That's great. What are you guys doing for work?
Well, I work in Manhattan.
Yeah?
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, you like your work?
Yeah, it's like this is a restaurant, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah? What kind of food?
Korean.
Oh my god, I love Korean
You
food.
know, Tony grew up, he was homeschooled, I found out. Went to cooking school.
Yeah.
Cooking homeschool.
My mom taught me how to cook a good dish of pasta, a pie, here and there,
You better
but I don't know
try
how to
some.
make Korean.
Oh, no, I can teach you sometime, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys are chefs?
Yeah, he's one of them. Man.
That's and what do you do?
I serve.
Oh my god, I gotta come to this restaurant.
Gorilla barbecue, man.
Gorilla? Oh my god, that is great.
That's free advertising for this.
Gorilla barbecue.
Yeah.
You'll
All
see
right.
me there.
Well, maybe we'll see all of us there after the match, and hopefully you guys get a big W tonight. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lights Out. I'm your host, Hank Lazer. Tony Dynasty to my side, as usual. And we're joined by an enthusiastic PJ Stackpole. PJ, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for you to have.
PJ, I want to ask
Any other things I could be doing right now? I got a match to get
Give
ready.
us an example.
Didn't I break this?
Whoa. PJ, please, not on the show. I understand in the wrestling ring it's different. What I'd like to ask you about to start off tonight is Mike Verna. You and Mike Verna used to be very close. Is that correct?
I think we know already. I think we all know the relationship between me and Mike Vernon. And I'll have you know that Mike Vernon and I have mended fences.
Is that
Water
right?
under the bridge.
Breaking news here on Lights
It's
Out.
not breaking news. If you took a second of your time to follow social media, you would see that Mike Vernon and I have a business relationship outside of Brooklyn.
Social media? Not.
And I know you're not experiencing media of any kind. This is evidenced by your
Talking
half-ass
about
production
J-Day?
you have here.
What? J-Date?
Is that like Tinder where you meet the girls on the computer?
What are you talking about?
Social media?
I have things
Let's
I could
get-
be
let's
doing,
not- let's
please.
not, no,
I have
let's-
things I could be doing. Come
So
on.
things are on. You and Mike Verna are square.
Look, he's looked the other way on some of my past transgressions. I've looked the other way that a couple months ago in this very building, mind you, Mike Vernon knocked me off a ladder. So it's water under the bridge as far as me and Mike Vernon are concerned.
Now you're involved with a number of wrestling personalities who are going to be involved in matches tonight.
That's correct.
Give us a preview. What should we be looking for in tonight's FSW card?
Well, we have obviously the 5-star classic FSW's #1 premier attraction featuring both Leon Mason and Cyrus Deville. Now, why FSW management would put two stable members, team members, family members practically in the same match, I don't know. But I've learned long ago to not even try to figure out the brain trust here at FSW. So that's what we'll have. No doubt in the end, we'll be triumphant in that. And Ian Aldwin, who is not here tonight, still has a rematch clause, which is why it's so odd to me that FSW has decided to make this fans pick the opponent night, when we already have a #1 contender, the former champion Ian Aldwin, who wasn't pinned, who didn't submit, who was robbed 1, 2, how many months ago? 3, in this very building last show.
Give us an update on the health of Ian Aldwin.
He's
When do
fine.
we expect him back?
Soon.
Soon this year? Soon next year?
Soon.
And
I'm
how
not
long
going
is
to
that?
lay my strategy out for the world to see, all right? Ian Aldwin will be back when Ian Aldwin's ready to be back.
I apologize.
Could be tonight, could be tomorrow, could be next year. Whenever he's feeling ready to come back and destroy all these losers you've had on your show, I've seen the parade you've had. When he decides to come back, he'll be back.
Is Ian Aldwin going to hold that belt again?
Yes.
He's not afraid of Mike Verna?
No.
Are you afraid of Mike
No.
Verna? Should you be afraid of Mike Verna? I saw him throw you off a ladder.
Mike Verna's bigger than me. He's stronger than me. He's mad at me, or he was at least. So yeah, I was afraid. But I take comfort in the fact that I walk in the shadow of Ian Aldwin, who, if you remember, was the only man to ever pin Mike Verna squarely, clean as a sheet, center of the ring.
Without Ian Aldwin here tonight, and maybe he is going to be, are you concerned about Mike Verna getting his hands on you again?
No.
All right.
I got a question. You known Mike since he was a kid?
Yes.
How are you going to explain to Mike's mother what you did to him, the double cross?
Business.
You just tell her
This
it's
is the professional wrestling business. I made a business decision. Mike Verna made it personal with me. I didn't make it personal with Mike Verna.
Given that you've double-crossed Mike Verna,
Double-crossed.
given that you and Mike Verna had a disagreement
Yes.
that resulted in the end of a business relationship,
Absolutely.
how does Ian Aldwin sort of look at you and
As
say,
a valuable asset.
this guy's not going to do the same to me?
That's a good question.
Next question.
Fair enough. Outside of the end and Ian Aldwin, do you see any other talents in FSW you'd be interested in having a business relationship
Absolutely.
with? Who's a big up-and-comer we should look out for on this
AJ
card?
Spectre.
What do you see in AJ Spectre?
I see the next hottest commodity in FSW.
Interesting. And you think that tonight he can win his match
Absolutely.
against a competitor who's much more experienced, who...
If anyone knows anything about beating Joe Attell, it's me. And trust me when I tell you, Spectre's got his number. You heard it here first. Spectre, you got the money, baby. I got the time. Let's make it happen.
Not to give you away your advice for free, because I know you're a businessman. If you had to give him a little tidbit, what would you tell him in order to beat Joe Attell tonight?
Joe Attell is his own worst enemy in that ring. And if he can stay away from Joe Attell will beat Joe Attell before Joe Spectre even has a chance.
Very interesting. I want to talk to you about the main event tonight. Maik Verna
Is there a main event tonight? I'm not sure what it is.
versus question mark.
He's put Mr. Maximo has put the conclusion of tonight's show, the main event, in the hands of a bunch of drunken Bay Ridge reprobates. What if they pick Greg Jones? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if they picked Greg Jones?
No,
Do you know business would plummet?
That's a fair assessment.
All right. Well,
You
listen.
know what? If Dynasty's agreeing with me, I may be off the mark.
Dynasty.
Bless you.
Now, were you around? Did you see this trophy take the dive that it took?
I did.
Cyrus through.
I
Your
did.
views on the events.
You
that
have to
transpired there.
understand, this was the first show, Aldwin's coming in with the championship, and how do we open the show? Everyone knows segment 1 goes to the champion.
Sure.
Not this time around. New champions
Looks
in
like
the
a
building.
championship trophy to me.
Out came this thing. He's going on and on with his half-baked performance, and it was time. It was time to shut him up. So I did what anyone would do. I told my man Cyrus to take the belt and to long dart it into the wall, and he did.
Now,
So this
you
was
don't-
your idea?
I didn't say that.
I'll watch the tape.
Would you say you're the brains of the end?
I would say I'm the heart and soul of the end. Ian Aldwin is a highly intelligent man.
What's your job as the heart and soul of the end? What kind of
To
services do you provide?
strategize, take care of their backstage dealings. I don't know if you noticed how chaotic the world is around here, right? The last thing they need to do is worry about if someone's got their back behind the scenes. Dealing with Joel Maximo, Elena Maximo, all the various promoters that are going to take money right out of their pocket. That's where I come in.
To take the money out of the pocket?
No, to make sure it gets comfortably into their wallets.
I apologize.
And then skim a little for myself.
An honest man, if not a dangerous man. Wonderful having you on the show, PJ. Thanks a
I
lot.
wish I could say the same. Can I go now?
Sure, yeah.
We'll be back with more.
All right, let's do this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're outside waiting for FSW to start. The fans are just lining up around the block. Everybody's getting excited. We've got one FSW fan with us here. What's your name?
Christian.
Christian's with us now. Excited to see the show tonight, Christian?
Yeah, of course, man. They're waiting months for this show.
What's the big thing you're waiting for here? What do you?
Well, I'm very curious to see who the Man of Steel, Mike Verna, is going to face tonight. This is big unpredictability because you don't know who the fans are going to pick, but I think they all have a good idea who they're voting for.
You see a lot of fans here now. Who do you think? What you've been talking to the fans? Where do you think this thing's headed?
Well, I mean,
Do you have a preference? Is there somebody you'd like to see?
I think, FSW needs that sort of new star because we've seen the same dudes, wrestle for the main event for the past year now. So it's always great to see a new face in the main event picture. And I think,
He's voting for me, right?
You're voting for Tony?
I mean, sorry to tell you, but I'm voting for Sebastian Cage.
Oh my goodness. Sebastian. What do you see in Sebastian Cage?
Well, he's young, he's hungry. You can see this ambition inside of him that he wants this. And you know what? If he's in the main event tonight, he's going to give 110%. And you know what? He has a good chance of winning that title.
What percent do you usually give in matches?
Sebastian Cage, he probably weighs about a third of what Mike Verna weighs. So I'm going to give the size advantage to Mike Verna, obviously, the strength advantage to Mike Verna.
What about intangibles?
The intangibles. I mean, class,
Sure.
Mike Verna.
Yeah.
Hustle, Mike Verna.
What about loyalty?
That's a tough one. You know, Mike Verna was very loyal to PJ Stackpole, and then he stabbed him right in the back.
We all saw that.
Mike knows that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Sebastian Cage, he's got a lot to prove, but maybe...
Whoa. Did you say Verna stabbed PJ in the back?
No, PJ stabbed him in the back.
Yeah, okay.
Mike Verna is a man of
That's what I
class,
thought.
loyalty, strength, and power. So I'm going to go with Mike Verna on the intangibles as well.
Christian, let me ask you: do you have any anybody else here you're at the match with? Do you have family members? Do you bring all your friends to FSW wrestling?
Of course, all my friends are here tonight.
It's great to
Look
see
at
you.
that.
Right here, the crew.
Is Edge here tonight?
Edge?
Your brother.
My brother Edge?
Yeah.
No, sadly no, he's not here.
Couldn't
tonight.
make it. He had a terrible
Yeah, he's
accident.
working on the Flash right now. So
Really?
Yeah.
Talented guy.
How about that?
All right, well, Christian, we appreciate you coming on the show.
No problem.
Thanks a lot.
man.
Good luck. Have fun.
Can't
Yes.
wait for tonight, man.
Absolutely.
FSW!
Another segment here on Lights Out for you FSW fans. My goodness, they keep coming fast and furious. This time we're joined by AJ Spectre. It's great.
The spectacular AJ Spectre.
My apologies, sir.
Anyone here do their job?
The card here says AJ Spectre, and I apologize for not giving you the title you would like. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Well, you're welcome for having me here.
It was an exciting time, a great number of matches we're going to have tonight. You're in action tonight. Preview your matchup for us. What's it going to take for you to beat Talon?
Well, first of all, I'm going up against the indestructible Joey Tell, so maybe you should do a little research before you ask your question.
Tony cards.
Tony, what the fuck?
Brings
I'm
new
sorry.
meaning to stacked card.
It is a
Yeah, I
stack
can
card.
clearly see where this interview's going.
Tell me about Joe Attell then.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to kick his tonight. I'm going to take his face and I'm going to smear it across the floor of St. Patrick's Church.
Now, his face has been smeared many times before, and we've seen him get up. What do you have to say to people who say Joe Attell cannot be beaten? He can't be pinned. The man
Well,
just keeps getting up.
They've never seen him go against me. And I've beaten people who have said they can't be pinned before, until this isn't the first time.
Well, I'm curious, have you ever beaten anyone without the help of your lady friend?
I think that you should stop paying attention to my lady friend. It's hard.
She
I know.
makes it
We're referring
very
to, of course,
hard.
to the beautiful and talented Miss Mandy Monroe. I want to make that clear.
Let's talk about Mandy Monroe. Let's get to brass
Well,
tacks.
I don't want to. Let's before we get to Mandy Monroe, and I want to talk about her too. What fella doesn't want to talk about Mandy Monroe?
She is very
I want to ask you this. A lot of your opponents have said you're a little bit. I don't like the word. They've said you're a coward.
I'm a
Are
coward.
you a coward, sir?
I'm a coward?
This is what I have from the other opponents. What they've
Who said that?
As a journalist, I can't reveal my sources.
I don't win like a coward. I don't fight like a coward. I fight like a tactician. I use my brain instead of my ridiculous stiff muscles.
Very interesting.
How about Suntan? What you did to Suntan was kind of cowardly.
What Suntan did when he refused to come out and assist a man that he's been in the ring with countless times, a man that helped trained me.
Yeah.
When he didn't come out to help against the House of Pain, that I severed all ties with my training.
Everybody's mad at Suntan. Seems like this guy's getting a bad rap to me.
Yeah, I don't understand it. No one seems to like this suntan fellow. I haven't met him. I'm looking forward to interviewing him.
How about Mandy Monroe? How did
Let's
you meet
get
her?
to Mandy Monroe. How do you meet a young lady like Mandy Monroe? That's a good question.
Well, when you're as handsome and as charming as I, there's actually you run into quite a few of them. But Mandy Monroe really sticks out. You could tell she's special.
She's got it.
Right away.
Sure.
And she has a mind for the business just like me. We just met because we had similar goals here in FSW. And we thought there's no way better to achieve your goals than through teamwork.
Interesting. Now, I've heard the young people like yourself, Tony and I, guys who've been around a while. We don't understand the
Really?
the dating scene.
I thought you were just new with this.
I've been in the business for 25 years.
And me, there's no reason for you to know me. I came out of the Dayton Federations, Dayton, Ohio, doing a lot of work down there. When we got our start in the biz, you met women after the show. Nowadays, I understand there's a Tinder, there's an Cupid. That's not how you met Mandy Monroe, though.
I don't quite understand what you're implying here.
How exactly? did
Now,
you meet
I guess
him?
what I should get to is, what's the nature of your relationship?
Yeah.
You know what? I have a match tonight against a former FSW heavyweight champion, a match that I've deserved from the moment that I've stepped my foot into FSW. And I know exactly where this interview's going, and I'm not interested.
All right, the spectacular AJ Spectre, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry you left
It's a
like
bit of a
that.
hot air.
That was, my goodness. He's got a big match tonight. We'll
We
be
can
back with
finish
more.
this interview without him. How do you think they met?
I think it was Tinder.
Tinder?
It was. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lights Out, your source for FSW news and notes and interviews. I'm joined as always by Tony Dynasty, and with us tonight we have a rookie here. If I may use a little baseball parlance, the Natural has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new competitor here on FSW. We're excited to have him. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, my name is David Andrews. The natural moniker was given to me at the backlot diamonds, the old rundown basketball courts and football fields where I made a name for myself.
Where he applied his trade.
Applied my trade, exactly. And I've decided I'm gonna try to take my talents to another sport.
Sure.
Try to dominate one more in this lifetime.
You know, I'm reminded.
So, a professional wrestler.
Yeah, that's great. I'm reminded of a young man, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, won a lot of titles in a certain wrestling faction up north. Are you modeling yourself after someone like that?
Not exactly. Although a guy like that, kind of a little dickish for me.
Sure.
I don't know what the policy for profanity is.
I never liked him
You
either.
can say the D word, although our last
You can say
interview got a
the
little
D
bit
word?
uncomfortable when they wanted to refer some others.
I'm sure it did. But I'm really just here to show people what I can do.
Great.
Show people the natural abilities.
Hit some home runs.
Hopefully it won't have to come to that.
My goodness. Oh boy. A little bit careful with that, please.
Don't
My
worry.
goodness.
Don't worry. You're not getting in the ring with me, right?
My concern is the trophy really more than me.
Mine too.
My goodness.
This
Now,
thing's gone through a lot. I know. I've seen it firsthand.
This guy's seen it.
let me ask you, you're teaming up tonight with the Elements to face Omega Black. Tell me first about your tag team partners, the Elements. How'd you get hooked up with these guys?
Well, these guys, I'm kind of new to the biz. I haven't known these guys for a while, but they're a very dynamic couple of guys. I mean, they're fire, they're ice. They balance each other out perfectly. They offset each other perfectly. There's one man's weaknesses are another man's strengths, and one man's strengths are another man's weaknesses. I'm excited to be teaming with them.
Good.
Because I think we can get in the ring and get it done tonight.
An exciting duo. Now tell me about your opponents, Omega Black. We had them on the show a little earlier. Confident young men, interesting, strong young men. They've been around a while. What do you go in? What's your game plan in your first match?
Well, I feel like Omega Black, especially the Gordons, they really need to get their ego taken down a peg. And I feel like we're just the guys to do that. I feel like we can use their overconfidence to our advantage and take this one home for the good guys.
The
tonight.
home team.
Now tell me a story about your days growing up and being the natural athlete that you clearly are. I don't know if the camera's getting this or not, but this kid's got it. Tell me a story about what's your greatest athletic accomplishment.
Well, one of the great urban legends that they tell about me, I say urban in quotes because it's 100% true. One day at at the backlot diamond where we used to play. I was up at bat with the bases loaded. Saw a hanging curveball over the middle. Saw my opportunity, knocked it straight out of the park. The thing is, we couldn't find the ball. And after an entire day of looking, we couldn't find the ball. And the next day, when we were playing again, we saw the ball fly in from the opposite side of the field and land in front of the catcher.
That's amazing.
Are you telling me you hit the ball around the circumference of the world?
That's what they tell me.
My goodness, very impressive stuff.
Breaking
Tony,
the laws of physics.
You've been around for a long time in this business. Any words of wisdom for this young man as he embarks on a career here in our great sport?
Well, I've been working a little bit in Krav Maga lately, and here's all I gotta tell you. Keep the arms up. No one's gonna hit your head. Keep those arms up. Put some weights in your arms at home. Watch TV with weights in your hands. Keep those arms up. You protect your head, and no one will take you out.
Wise words from a vet to a brand new entrant here in FSW. We're excited to see you here tonight.
I love this guy.
Thanks for joining us, David Andrews. Good luck out there. The Natural. Thank you. We'll be right back.
They'll end at the end.
You should bring that up.
Yeah, they'll go off at the end.
All right, we're back here at Lights Out. Hank Lazer here, joined by Tony Dynasty, as always.
Hold on. Before we get started with the interview, do I really have to sit next to this guy?
I understand.
Like, would you want to sit next to a guy named The Nasty?
I understand the smell's a little overcoming.
His eyes speed me up. Dash, can you please switch?
What's wrong with
Well, I
that?
gotta do it. The cameraman's gotta get the good side.
I understand that, but I don't want to see his ugly side. Dash, please.
I can't look at this wise.
Apologize, folks. A little technical difficulties there, but
Not
we
technical
all
difficulties.
that's
Pretty good, man.
Now we can start the
This is a man's taste.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Really
that's
high
what
class.
it's
I like this new arrangement.
It's nice. It's
Yeah.
good.
It's still on strong though.
We're joined by two other members of Omega Black. Dashing D. Weatherford, Greg Jones.
The greatest man alive, Greg Jones.
The greatest man alive, Greg Jones. I apologize, I missed that in the production notes. Great to have the two of you with us here tonight, and welcome to the show. I'd like to lead off by talking about your matches tonight, if I might. What should we be looking for?
You know,
A win. A win,
It
of
went
course.
all the way around, you know, pinkies up.
Clean sweep. Omega Black going home with 2 W's actually.
Exactly, 2 W's.
Two
And
Ws.
one of us, naturally, if you don't fan base, you know, do the right thing again, like I said, you bet on black, you put Dash and D Weatherford, you put Greg Jones, you put one of the Gordons, any of us, you put us in that match against Mike Vernon for the FSW Heavyweight Championship, and you watch things change. All right, now if you put me in there, you damn sure getting a lot of Dash and stuff, so make that happen. That's
You're
all I
going to
gotta
get the
say.
best results when you bet on black.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's like roulette.
Now, Dashing D, I haven't had the opportunity to see you here in FSW yet. It's my first time. I'm coming from Dayton, Ohio. I've worked at Dayton Promotions for a long time.
Never heard of you.
I understand. That's fine. Brooklyn, I know it's the big city.
Never heard.
Dayton's a legitimate
We've
federal.
done some stuff.
We're doing some.
Dane's getting there.
Thank you.
I think we're the biggest dogs you ever had.
I had some big guests come through Dayton. You know, we had some guys, but it's great to have the two of you here and being in Brooklyn. Now, Dashing, do you? Pardon my ignorance. Do you wrestle in the suit, or do you have different ring attire? Or?
I have different ring attire, you know, there's some other things. You know, why am I gonna get in there and get all dirty and dust up, you know, the good wares? You know what I mean? You know who does that? I'm classy.
Yeah.
You know,
Classic man.
everything that it goes.
I can tell.
But you know, I can't wear the pants. I can afford to get more, so you know the pants stay on.
Sure.
I gotta look the part. I'm Dashing D Weatherford through and through. There's no way you're gonna get anything. This ain't a gimmick. This is life.
And what does the D stand for?
The D can stand for a whole lot of things, but you know, if you ask the ladies, they already know. All right.
Now, this is a family show. So
This is a family show. Like I said, it's many different things.
Sure.
As every now and then I'm dancing. Every now and then I'm a little devious.
And
you know,
also,
it's
how you
just
think
part of the
films are
game,
made
you know what I
with
mean?
the D, right? The films are made with the D. How about you? Right.
Dust Stork,
We got
of course. Dust Stork.
Stork.
Now, gentlemen, let's talk about outside of the ring. What do you do for fun? What's there to see here for a new guy like myself in Bay Ridge?
I think you asked too many questions.
That's good. I'm great. Hold on.
You asked too many questions. Like, we just met him.
Relax.
And he's already questioning that.
Come on, man. Look. I told you about our business relationships. You know, look, I've been around a while. You know, I've been I helicopter a lot through. Matter of fact, I could probably take you on one of the tours. Where you go right over here near 57th Street on the west side, you can actually take one of those good helicopter tours and you see everything. I mean, you got skyline. New York is one of the greatest cities ever. Anywhere you go, there's things going on 24/7 every day. You know what I mean? So this go, find something, think about it. It's there. That's why I moved out here to New York. It was just the best place to be, and I found out, moving to Barcelona was probably even a better thing than that. You know what I mean? You're a Brooklyn guy, right? Huh?
I'm a Staten Island guy, but actually I was born in Bay Ridge. I don't have a ton of memories of Bay Ridge, but
Staten Island.
Yeah, Staten Island's
I know I saw you sleep on the boat, right? That's where you got the
I have fallen asleep on the boat. That's not where I permanently sleep.
You could fool me. You could have fooled me.
I was unaware it was a borough until I came here to Brooklyn. Apparently it's part of New York. It's very strange.
It is.
Yeah, I think you guys like a little bit far behind the times on over there. Like I heard technology's like 10 years back.
It's old school, all the Italians moved from Brooklyn, they went to Staten Island, and we live the old country way.
That sounds like racism.
Let me get into it now. Dashing D, I know you're a big fan of the Minneapolis music scene, a big Prince fan. How do you feel? I did my research. And frankly, when I interview a celebrity like this, it's pretty easy to know.
I respect your artistic value and appreciation of journalism. Yeah, I'm a huge Prince fan. I mean, who isn't? If you're not influenced by Prince, you don't know music. You don't know anything at all. Again, like I said, Dashing D Weatherford, there's many facets and everything about me. But, if you really want to look to a pinnacle of anything dealing with influence, artistry, music, just living in general, you're talking about Prince, all right? That's just the one thing right there. You had Michael Jackson, the king of pop, and everybody say you got Prince as the Prince. But let's just face it, who's actually transited? Whose music's still selling? Whose music's still coming out? I understand Michael Jackson.
He's still got music coming out.
Look. Michael Jackson has music coming out after he did a lot of dirty things. All right, I can teach
Especially
you.
Diana.
All right, I've done my research.
Call that too.
Think about something. What instrument has Michael Jackson played?
Saxophone.
Yeah. What instruments does Prince play?
Guitar.
I think he plays them all.
Actually, he plays them all, and then he hires a band to do everything else afterwards.
Now, Dashing D, have you seen this new all-female lineup Prince has behind him? Boy, are there some good-looking women there.
We need to join to make a black.
Well, yeah, but we gotta still go to Prince. I'm working on it. I've been working on that cross adventure for a while. Look, I met with Prince back in Paris a few years ago. Intimate setting. He's got a lot of good music. Just before we really, Huh? But it was a lot of good things going on. I'm trying to get in there. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
If you guys heard about my cardio regimen, wait, family show. Never mind.
Yeah, let's leave that out. Greg Jones, I want to cut to you before we run out of time here on the show. Do you have a favorite pro wrestler historically? Is there someone you model yourself after? Who do you model yourself after?
Myself. Greg Jones. Nobody better.
You heard it here, folks. Greg Jones, the best there is, I think is what he said. The legendary.
Don't put Bret Hart in this.
I didn't mean to.
I know where you're going. The greatest man alive. I told
The greatest
you.
man alive. I'm sorry. For me, the greatest man alive.
He was the best.
Jesus Christ. But Greg Jones, very close. We appreciate both of you coming on the show. Gentlemen, anything we need to leave you with? Anything you have to say about tonight's match?
You need to leave that guy at home next time. Next time I'm not doing the show.
For that watch.
Why the show called Lights Out and the lights are on?
Yeah.
It's a great question. We'll be back with more. Thanks very much.
Match.
Thank you, up, baby.
And we're back. Got another interview with Mike, fan on the street here. Mike,
Yep.
How many FSW events would you say you get to a year?
Oh my god, I go to just about all of them. I've been going to FSW shows since 2012, as a matter of fact.
Wow, my goodness, back to 2012. I can't even
Yeah.
tell you where I was in 2012.
I was living in Staten Island. Things were pretty good for me actually in 2012.
Was that before your divorce?
Well, long before. My divorce was 2014 December. So I was actually very happy in 2012.
You were living in the bigger house.
Yeah, much bigger house. Now I'm living in a basement in Sunset Park. It's terrible. Can't even find a good slice.
Now, Mike, are you familiar with Tony Dynasty, who joins me here on the street?
Yes, I am. I've seen him at a few Fighting Spirit Wrestling events throughout the year. He always comes with this big trophy.
Sure. What's your impression of his skill set, his abilities out there in the ring?
You know something? I like this guy. He comes in, he does his thing. Even though that he technically hasn't really won a single match
Is that
yet.
true, Tony?
Not since my comeback. I
Sure.
mean, I haven't won a championship in
Now,
quite a while.
did you ever see him in his younger days back in 1997? My understanding is he was the inner bureau.
I haven't. That was actually before I was born.
Oh my goodness, a young fan here.
I was born in '98, guys.
Okay, my goodness. Wow. Tony, what's your age again?
51.
51.
Wow.
You don't look a day over 50. I'll tell you that.
I don't know how to take that.
It's a compliment. Mike, who would you like to see win the big main event tonight? Is it Mike Verna or whoever he faces?
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. You know, there's so many good people in FSW that deserve the title shot.
It's a loaded roster.
I'm actually coming through a tie with two people: Sebastian Cage and Flawless Blake Morris.
Flawless Blake Morris, sure. What do you like about? We heard about Sebastian Cage a little earlier. What's your thoughts on Flawless Blake Morris?
He's just flawless, man. You know,
no flaws.
Huh?
You don't think he's ever had like a pimple or something?
Well, one time he did get screwed over the FSW tag team titles with him and Rex Lawless. What happened was, at the Lions Den show back in March, Flawless and Lawless appeared to win the tag titles against the House of Pain, but only due to the fact that it was by disqualification because the House of Pain attacked the ref.
You know, I can't stand, and I don't know about you, Tony, but these referee attacks have gone on too long. If I was a referee, I think I might unionize. I might organize myself.
There's been talk of unionization for years. It'll never happen. It's not realistic.
Why not? I mean, these referees, they get thrown around. They get
I'll
beat
tell you
up.
why.
No one says anything nice about them.
The referees, you can replace them so easy. You just find a kid on the street, you give him $20 in his hand, you got a scab.
Mike, would you referee a match for $20?
Hell yeah, I would. I would do that.
This guy would cross the line, break
Mike,
up the
now
union.
it's a dangerous profession, you know, getting into the wrestling ring with trained athletes like Tony Dynasty. You could get yourself hurt if you're not careful. Would you be concerned about that?
You know something? There's a risk every time you go in the ring. I have a passion for this, you know. I would certainly love to do it if I was a referee.
Now, Mike, you strike me as a guy who watches a lot of pro wrestling.
Yes.
Do you go to shows outside of FSW, or is it just FSW?
I go to just about every single show in the New York City area.
You go to the WWF?
Yeah, I've been there a
Sure.
few times.
Do you get to the WCW shows?
Well, I haven't been to WCW because it was, you know, long gone, you know.
Before he was born.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Before he was born.
Yeah.
What happened to them?
Oh, the Championship Wrestling Federation, they're gone.
They're gone now?
Oh, yeah, they're toast. Their turkey is cooked.
You never was. Well, I'm sorry to hear it. Mike, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming out to the
thanks,
W. We
man.
appreciate you
You
coming out. Tony Dynasty.
Give me a vote. How about just give the guy a nice vote?
You know something? I'll give you a sign.
There we are. It's good to see you. Good to vote there.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We'll be back. And we're back. Lights Out. I'm joined now by Tag Team The Elements. Gentlemen, welcome to Lights Out.
Thanks for having us.
We're excited to have you on the show tonight. Big match for you all tonight, a 6-man tag team match. What are you looking for here? You have a brand new partner in the Natural. We had him on the show earlier, a promising young man, but we don't know much about him.
You know way more than I know.
You guys were just set up with this guy, and you're not sure what you're going to get out of him?
This is how I see it. We're winning regardless of who the third man is on our team. I'm not too worried. I know who we're fighting. I know our opponents. Omega Black, bet on Black, yeah. But you know what? In roulette, I don't always bet on Black. You're better off betting on 00.
You bet on red effort.
Half
the time on red, half on black. You know, I pick a lucky number typically, and 0 seems like a very good number there. What do you know about Omega Black? What do you expect to see out of them tonight?
I know that from personal experience, if you ain't cheating, you're not trying. And they're pretty good at cheating. So I'm going to expect a lot of that. I expect a lot of...
They're nice kids. I think they're nice boys. They're just hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I agree. Maybe the Sons of America, but Omega Black as a unit, absolutely.
Something happens when Greg Jones goes into your life.
Something
change. Greg Jones changes.
What do you think that is? What does Greg Jones do? Is his charm?
Just corrupts, maybe.
Just charm
He
corrupts.
just brings in these little boys and he's like, oh, be like Greg Jones. And it's not good.
He promises them riches and fame.
Smooth talker Greg Jones, is he not?
Greg Jones dashing deep. All they do is talk.
Just throws money at the two boys and expects them to perform for them. But not enough money in the world is going to help them today, here. at Ludus Maximus.
Let me ask you about your background. I understand you're from the Greek island of, and I apologize for my pronunciation here, Limnopolis, Matohi. Is that correct?
That is actually closer than any other American would say. It is Limnopolis, Matohi.
Limnopolis, Matohi. And what kind of place is Limnopolis, Matohi?
Right now, it looks like New York City, but when I was born, it was farm, just farm for miles. Olives, apricots.
What are they growing there? Feta cheese mostly?
It's not in the mountains, that's in the fields. We have the mountains.
Sounds great.
Great olives.
Beautiful Greece, the best.
Quality olives. But as I understand it, there was some difficulty with the law there that required you to flee the Grecian authorities. Is that correct?
Yeah. My baba ran into some troubles with a very important man who was going to frame him for something that my baba did not do. So I make an electrical fire and his house went down and I had to come to this beautiful country.
You burned his house down?
I may have been involved in...
Is that a crime in Greece? Is arson a crime?
Not at the 7 years, they forget about it there.
That's not a thing. It's just one of these things. I understand you can buy off a lot of the authorities there. Is that sort of the kind of thing that occurred?
Not when the authorities are the bad guys.
What they accuse your dad of?
They said his car was somewhere where it shouldn't have been. You know, I don't want to talk too much about
Fair
this.
enough.
I understand that.
That 7-year rule might not be too. You can't trust what this guy says. Okay?
Now you two boys are ice and fire, and fire and ice. Now, do you have superpowers allowing you to shoot ice and/or throw flame?
No, but my 1-inch punch, the fields you ball and cold chill.
That's why you're ice?
No, I am only like ice because I am very similar to my brother, but yet the opposite.
Oh, I see.
And I am the iceberg because I am just like an iceberg. You only see what you see above the water. You do not know the depth in which I am capable of. The iceberg took down a Titanic. I am a giant killer. It does not matter how short, how tall, how fat or small. I will take you down. I will find your center of gravity, exploit it, and get you on the ground for over 3 seconds. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter nothing. Doesn't matter who's my partner, even if it is my brother.
So you're ice and you're fire because you're an arsonist.
Since I was a young boy, the flames came on. So you see, he's the muscle. I'm the brain. And since the Thor and the Loki, you know, it's the Wolverine, the Cyclops. You know, you have to get everything at all angles. The only superpowers we have is the powers that Joel Maximo and the fighting spirit rest of the team has given to us. We're just a bunch of young kids working on our bodies, trying to learn a sport.
Yeah.
Now I understand that you two men, you have these masks on. It's difficult to see beyond the mask there and what's behind it. Do you want the world to see you? Don't you think that they'd understand?
You see, I walk the streets as Emmanuel Epaminondas Mavrakis. I live my life. I go to work, I go to church, do what I do. Emmanuel Epaminondas Mavrakis. My friends call me Manoli. But when I put on the mask, and we get in the ropes, I am fire.
So would you say that you don't want the world to see you because you don't think that they'd understand and everything's meant to be broken?
I just want you to know who I am.
I see. Very interesting. Good stuff here from the Elements. Big match tonight. They've got a tag team partner they don't know anything about against Omega Black, a tough team. Gentlemen, a tough matchup for you tonight. I wish you well. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll be back. All right, and we're back with Lights Out here. I'm Hank Lazer, joined by Tony Dynasty as always, and with me, Malta, one of the legends here at FSW. Malta, thanks so much for joining us on the show. We appreciate your time.
Well, thanks a lot for inviting me down over here tonight. I'm over here tonight. I'm not going to be fighting a conventional wrestling match. I'm going to be in the street fight. And I can tell you guys this, what a lot of people may know or they may not know about me, because I am a traditionalist when it comes to wrestling. But I worked up my name and my reputation in the streets of New York, fighting through the toughest neighborhoods in Queens and Brooklyn, Manhattan, the Bronx, everywhere. People know me as being a stand-up street fighter. So the fact that they put me in this match here tonight, in a street fight here against Magma, I'm so excited for it. I am so excited for it to show people a different side of Malta. I'm gonna show you the grit of who I am. The fact that during the 80s and the 90s, if you couldn't fight, your parents would be moving you off the block really quick because you had to be, only the strong survived in New York during that time. It wasn't like today.
Sure.
All right, you had to fight to come home with the change in your pocket and the shoes on your feet.
That's right. No cell phones back then. None of this garbage the kids are in their head.
No, none of that. You know, we actually went out and did things.
Yeah.
Right. So here I am here tonight. I'm looking forward to when I get into that ring, you can expect nothing but total devastation because that's what I'm about. I'm so pumped up. I don't even have to do a push-up today. I'm just so amped up and I'm so pumped up. I'm telling you guys, bro, what you guys gonna see out there tonight is total carnage.
Tell me about your opponent, Magma. What do you got to look out for with him?
Well, you know, I'm really, what people would look out for, I'm looking forward to. I know he's a hard hitting, he's a tough customer. And that's what I want. I want to stand toe to toe with somebody who wants to go at it. You know, I'm a wrestler, I'm a fighter. I'm not a superstar, I'm not a movie star. I'm not a prima donna like a lot of these guys that are out there in the circuit today. I want to go out there and I want to do it mano a mano. I want to fight. So I'm glad that I'm out there against Magma because he has the same type of focus. He's got the same type of mindset. He's a warrior. But I got to tell you something. If it's got to be me or him, or it's got to be me or anybody else, it's going to be me.
Certainly. Now, I know you fought all around the world. You recently returned from a European tour. Can you tell us about your fights in Europe? You went home to your home country of Malta.
That's right. We just ran a pro wrestling event down in Malta with a company called Pro Wrestling Malta. So we're actually like evolutionizing the sport of professional wrestling in Malta. We sold out the first event. It was a brilliant production. Juventud Guerrero is going to be on the next show coming up in November. And, you know, all of the stars in the business are all calling me up saying, Malta, we saw what a great event that you guys put on down there with Pro Wrestling Malta. How can we get on it? How can we get down with it? So, you know, I could just see the scene there growing, and it's going to grow in a really, really good way because all of the guys down there, especially Johnny LaValette, he's going to be the next biggest thing coming from the island. I'm telling all you guys out there, you gotta look out for this guy because he's got something special. I see something in him, and I expect everybody who supports me to support him.
Now, we'll have to keep that one in mind. Fans, keep your view on Johnny LaValette.
Right. He's going to be coming here next year to America. He's going to come here with me. You're going to be seeing him here in Fighting Spirit Wrestling.
Forward to that. Now, tell me about the island of Malta where you're from. An ancient civilization. Is
That's
that
right. Malta has the oldest traces of man-made civilization. A lot of people are ignorant. And over here in New York, they think Malta's a Goya drink. Well, I got news for you. It's not a Goya drink. All right? We happen to have the oldest traces of man-made civilization in the world that are above ground, 1,000 years older than the pyramids, the Ujgati temples, Hajar-in, Tarshin temples. So we have much history. You know, people talk about the European Union. You know what? As far as they can tell, Europe started in Malta. That's the furthest point east, and life came from east to west. So when it comes to Europe, the first step of life in Europe was in Malta. So, you know, we got a proud heritage, we're a proud people. We fought in World War II, we never got captured in World War II. We fought against the Ottomans, everybody throughout history. We were a part of the Roman Empire, we're in Greek mythology, it was once called the Island Calypso. There's a non-stop, if you want to get into a history lesson about Malta, sure. we gotta have an interview that'll last all night, because I don't have enough time to tell you about it.
Let's do it in the future, I want to get it on camera. An interesting place.
It's an island. It's an island fortress and an island paradise at the same time. Because like all the cities were built, you know, with very narrow streets and moats and bridges and gates that you had to come through. And you know, if they were coming through with armies, they couldn't easily come through and pillage the city because of the design. If they try to come over the wall, they put boiling oil over the wall and it burned the people. And strategically, they could not conquer Malta.
They survived terrible bombing during World War II.
The most bombed place. The most bombs that fell in World War II fell on Malta, and Malta is smaller than Manhattan.
So just picture that. When you see the carnage in all these other countries, everyone's telling you, oh, World War II, poor us, poor us. Us, the Maltese people, all right? We were being governed by Britain at the time. And then Italy teamed up with Germany, and Sicily is only 60 miles away. So they didn't even need aircraft carriers. They're just a non-stop bombardment of Malta. You know, and the people were fighting battleships with tugboats, and they never gave up. And that's how we got awarded the George Cross on the flag for the bravery of the people in Malta who fought during World War II.
Now let me ask you this.
Same thing.
How has that history sort of shaped your attitude when you get into the squared circle?
Let me tell you something. There's something called the Great Siege of Malta that happened in 1565. You should look it up. If you guys think 300 was something with the Spartans, you really have to look up the Great Siege of Malta, because hundreds of knights and farmers and local people fought off thousands of Turks storming the beaches of Malta during the Ottoman Empire and during the Crusades at that time. So the first strike back happened there in 1565. They call it the Great Siege, but it's funny because they actually never seized the island. They were coming, they were even running out of ammunition because they couldn't kill people as fast as they were storming the beaches of Malta. And you know.
So how does that relate to you when you get in the ring?
Well, I'm just saying,
that history?
to know that people, my ancestors, and people from my country fought off thousands of people with just hundreds. You just think that there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah.
I know something, like I told you before, if it's got to be me and anybody, it's going to be me. If you call the cops too, I'm going to fight them.
That's
You
a
see
young
what I'm
man's
saying?
game.
I'm not backing down. I never run and never will.
The cops, I mean, I'm a cop. You can trust us. Just letting you know.
No, but I'm
We're on
just
the
saying.
same team here.
All right, I'm just saying. If they want to come in front of me, because you'd be surprised.
Back in the day, man.
You'd be surprised.
Back when us Mediterraneans were considered second level citizens.
Grease balls.
Maybe, yeah.
Grease balls.
Nowadays, though, we run things.
Do they call them grease balls here?
Grease balls, that's
I've
right.
heard some other terms that I thought already.
And the reason why they call this grease balls is because when we used to have feasts in New York back in the day, they used to have grease poles that you had to climb to come up. And it was always, European people doing it for the saints. So we'd be all covered in grease, so they call us grease balls.
It's not a reference to the food or anything like that.
No, I think Spanish food's a little bit more greasy.
Sure. I like a little grease in my food. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but I like the food to have. Especially,
I can use a little grease in my hair. It's a little dry today.
Grease in my hair. Tony, you got any questions before we sign off here?
Well, you heard about my divorce. I was just wondering how your marriage is coming along.
Oh, well, I'll tell you something. There's all the life is what you make it. I happen to be blessed. I have a wonderful wife and wonderful kids. Actually, matter of fact, today is October 17th. It happens to be my 16th wedding anniversary.
Hey, congratulations.
Me and my wife have been together for 21 years. And, unlike most guys, I don't know what they stand up for, but I'll tell you this. I love my wife. I think that, you want to measure who you are as a man, not by how many women you conquer, but if you could stay loyal with the same person and always keep it fresh and keep it new. And I think that's the recipe of my grandfather and the people who came before me. And that's what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to my personal life, absolutely, my family is first. This is before wrestling. No doubt.
Wise words from a man who's been around and knows the business better than anybody here in Brooklyn. Malta, thanks for the time. We appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks, Hank.
We'll be back.
All right, Dynasty.
Ladies and gentlemen, another incredible night of FSW wrestling. We saw 2 belts change hands, and it turns out Mike Verna remains the gold standard here in Brooklyn. Well, it's been a fun night. It's been an exciting night. It's been a night of many surprises. But for me, it's time for lights out. Good night, everybody.
Now, do you have the invoice for the trophy?
Take it with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, do you have it?
I got the invoice. You gonna pay it? $47.
Oh, is he? Oh my!
Are you friggin' kidding me? This
Just
guy.
a sign of disrespect.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry at this guy.
Well, you should laugh. I'm a funny guy.
Doesn't seem very funny. It's not my sense of humor.
You seem very nice to me.
Thank you. I am a nice guy.
Whose side are you on?
He's on my
Hey,
side.
I'm a sports
He's
journalist.
on my side.
Tony Amaro.
What is this? Why? This doesn't even come out. Why is that there? It looks like a fucking sock.
It was on
Tony,
sale.
is that a sock?
It was on sale. How much does it cost? $3?
$3? You were there. This was a $200 jacket. We used an online coupon. I got it for $150. This is actually just a little
You
invention.
are as cheap as you look.
This is an invention of mine, actually. This
Why do
is
you have
just
to
like
show
a
that in
pocket.
your yourself, though?
I pulled the lining inside out. Looks like a pocket square.
Incredible. You look ridiculous.
I'm 51. You asked how old I am?
Yeah.
51 years old. How old are you?
25.
Tell me this. Let's get personal here, Cyrus. You got a girlfriend?
What do
You might?
Not that it's
I've been
business.
going through some problems, actually, to be honest. I just got divorced, and
Sorry, yeah. Actually, no, I'm not. I think it's kind of funny.
have you been divorced?
No.
You wouldn't find it funny.
Well, I find it funny when it happens to you.
It's
You
not a
lose-
funny experience. I've been through it myself a couple times.
This guy
difficult
knows.
time.
Anything that
This
bad
guy
happens
knows.
to this guy is funny.
So how did you meet your girlfriend?
Don't worry about it. Why are you answering these questions for?
I'm a broadcast journalist now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
So you're
That's
not
not Tony now. You're a guest on the show.
So what you're saying is you're lying now.
About which part?
You said you're a broadcast journalist?
I think that I am. This guy says I'm not, but doesn't mean I'm lying.
Tony, I have a degree from the University of Dayton.
Yeah, where's your
broadcast journalism?
Where do you have a
I don't
degree?
recognize that.
The
Degree?
Flyers?
I was homeschooled.
Homeschool.
Malta the Dynasty.
Malta the Damager.
Cooking school.
Cooking.
Yes, that.
Well, I mean, you're an Italian.
Yeah, I make a nice pie.
I bet you do. What about pasta? How'd your mom cook the pasta?
Mom makes the best pasta. You gotta see it. She uses only cherry tomatoes. She boils them first. Takes the skins off.
That's good.
No skins in the gravy. She puts them in the pot with the pasta that cooks all together.
That's impressive.
Start to finish, the pasta's in there.
Really?
You wouldn't believe it. What am I talking to this guy for?
It sounds
I'm
like the
talking
two
to
of you
him,
might
actually.
actually have something in common here. You're both interested in cooking, and is family important?
We
to you,
both seem to
Cyrus?
be obsessed with the trophy.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's not a bad trophy.
That's
And I'm not sorry I broke it. I think I made it look better, to be honest. No?
better. You think that tape makes it look better?
Absolutely. I mean, it's cheap anyway. Did you even win that? Or did you just steal it?
1997.
Is that yours? I don't believe
Look
it.
on
You
the
got any
internet.
qualifications for that?
Look on the. Look
I
at
have
the
looked on the internet. I couldn't
Look
see
at the
it.
bottom of the trophy, the base of the trophy.
Yeah, but
Oh, it says your name. Interborough.
yeah, I could have done that. You could have got that
You
made
could have
anyways.
gotten that engraved, laser engraved. You got a laser engraver at your house?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
We'll be back. Thank you.